The biggest incentive to plow through this thing is your air conditioning.
Howdy, it's Tuesday, June 20th, 2017, and this is episode 48 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City and Casino Biz podcast. I'm Kyle Askin, joined as always by Craig Stone. What's good, Craig?
Ready to talk about some news.
Yeah, so before we begin, we just want to thank everyone who came out to the meetup, simply because we don't want to have too much time between actual news posts. We're going to save our trip roundup for the next episode, which should come out next week. We'll get it out pretty quickly for y'all, but we just want to get through some news this week. So, you want to get started, Craig?
Yeah, I mean, that's like the tease, right? Like it's like when you're watching the news and they're like, there's gonna be a really funny cat video if you just keep watching, and they don't show you the cat video until the very end of the episode. That's what episode 49 is, which doesn't make any sense because you could just turn this off right now and wait until next week for the trip report.
Right, which I'm sure is far more popular, but I just going a month or whatever between news episodes is not good for anyone, I don't think. So
yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be a pretty thin news episode, and then
it's not.
A bunch of stuff popped up today. Right. So, press conferences and things happen, and all of a sudden there's a pretty full agenda here.
But first, I think we're going to open it up by talking about the activity formerly known as the AC Fan Expo, which is no more right now, it seems like. So according to them, on both Facebook and Twitter, they said on June 16th, which was
Friday,
so the day that they were supposed to have their next Fan Expo, that due to matters beyond their control, they're postponing operations until further notice, and that's been the last anyone's ever heard of them. So yeah, I don't know if you saw, Craig, but I had noticed last week on Wednesday or Thursday that their theme for this upcoming weekend was still TBA. So I figured that was a bad sign.
Yeah, that's not so great. So I don't think they actually posted this on Twitter. I went to their Twitter feed and I didn't see it.
If you look at their, they didn't post it on Twitter, but they replied to someone who was like, okay. He's like, when are you guys opening today? And they're like, we're not.
Yeah.
So if you go check it out and look at posts and replies or whatever the middle tab is in Twitter, we'll have it. So
that they also, the website's still up, and if you go to acfexpo.com, not acfanexpo.com, acfexpo.com, it looks like they've got all the weeks scheduled. Like, you scroll down and it shows all the weeks, but if you click the schedule tab in the navigation bar, nothing shows up, and it just says the same thing it says on Facebook, which is, due to matters beyond our control, we are postponing operations until further notice. They said they'll refund tickets to anyone who pre-purchased for any events that don't happen. We've gotten no other information, and it seems like a bad sign. I mean, do you see any way that this thing comes back up, or is this the last we hear of AC Fan Expo?
It's probably it. I mean, from everything we heard, it didn't seem like it was really doing well. Just didn't have the people out there to make it keep going, or at least, like I said, that's what I've heard. We did not go to it, which we'll, talk about, I guess, a bit more next episode. But I know you had intended to go last weekend and you just didn't, and so you missed out on what would have been the last day of the AC Fan Expo.
That's true. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I mean, I heard it was really small. Obviously, we talked about that last episode, that it was basically confined to the area around the poker room. The original plan was to gradually expand throughout the summer and fill up the casino floor and have stuff upstairs and have video game competitions in the House of Blues concert hall and all this other stuff. But it just seems like, I mean, obviously that never materialized, but it seems like people came and kind of saw how small it was and left with not the best impression. I don't, as much as I love to speculate about stuff, I have a hard time with this because I mean, the most obvious thing to say is that, they said, Sean Smith from the AC Fan Expo said on our podcast, like, they came in with expectations that it wasn't going to be just hordes of people the first few weekends, and they would need to expand and get into the summer. And I mean, it seemed like they had the the leeway to do that, and at least enough money to keep it running into the summer. But I just wonder if they expected low turnout. They didn't expect so low turnout, and I think that probably also vendors, like maybe they had more trouble attracting vendors, but hopefully we'll hear more about it. I mean, I'm sure he probably doesn't want to talk about it anytime soon.
No,
but
no.
It would be interesting to, sometime way down the line, either just contact him via email or whatever, and just like see if we can get some sort of postmortem on this thing. But,
right.
I mean, it could be anything. I mean, they say out of their control. Obviously, visitation is out of their control.
Bart Gladstein telling them that they can't have the space anymore would be out of their control.
Yeah, I mean, I've got crackpot theories that maybe I shouldn't spend a ton of time on, but it could be that he came and said, "Oh, I thought this thing was going to be big," and then shut it down. I have no idea, but I mean, it could be anything. So it's kind of interesting, or sad, really, that it's gone this way. And hopefully it's not the end. Maybe there's some hope that they say, "Okay, we're just going to put this off until we can actually build it out more." But I would not hold your hopes out.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. And I will say, despite it not working out, I mean, I don't think that necessarily means it was a bad idea. I mean, as I said since the very beginning, I think it was awfully optimistic to say you're going to be able to do this every weekend. Especially with like the amount of time from the time they announced it until the time that they did their first one. I mean, it was just an insane ask, and I still think something like this could work. I still think if something like this did work, it would be amazing for the city, but wrong place, wrong time, just bad circumstances around it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree, maybe wrong place. I'm not sure it's even wrong time as much as just wrong, like, lead time. Like you said, I think that short notice of, hey, this is happening, hey, we're doing this 15 weeks in a row, like, that's a huge thing to plan in that amount of time. And then we saw, I mean, the marketing I don't think ever really materialized, and that's a huge problem. I mean, that's something we've talked about with Revel, obviously on a much bigger scale, but to get the critical mass for this thing, they needed to get the word out, and they needed people to come and spread the word and say, hey, this thing is cool. And I keep harping on this, but it's so hard to open something and get people in the door and convince them, like, hey, this is beta, soft open, whatever, and not go out and tell everybody, like, hey, this sucks. When all your word of mouth is, it could be cool. Like, that's the most optimistic scenario, is you hope that people go and say, like, maybe it'll be cool someday. Whereas the reality is most people are, like, coming to our Facebook group and saying, hey, man, this thing's tiny and not worth your time. Like, it's a tough thing to get past when that's the first impression.
Yeah, I mean, I think having a more of a hard open with actual festivities and stuff has sort of proven to be a much better idea, at least in the gaming market. And when I say gaming, I mean casino gaming. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, just tough circumstances. I mean, it's something we're both rooting for it to succeed, but unfortunately, it appears that it has not. Who knows? Maybe they'll have an announcement in 2 weeks that they are coming back, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think they probably would have been better off starting 4th of July. I mean, the only scenario I could see that where they reopen is saying, like, hey, we're going to take stock of this thing and try to come back 4th of July, but I don't think that's probably going to happen.
No. So speaking of Bart Gladstein...
always stuff to talk about Bart Gladstein.
Yeah, Mr. Gladstein. So according to our friends at Route 40, who I believe met with him last Friday night? No, a couple Friday nights ago, and had a chat with him. So if you've walked north of the Showboat, which I don't know why you would now, on the boardwalk, there's been a sign up for a while on the Garden Pier, which is between the Showboat and the Revel, which says that it is coming July 2017, with no mention of what is coming. But
it just says AC Pier.
Yeah. According to Eleanor Cumley, who talked with Bart Gladstein, that's not going to happen. Apparently, Bart Blatstein said that big stuff is coming, but there's really no details on what that is. So I don't know. What do you have to say about this?
I mean, obviously, my assumption was that they were going to hope that AC Fan Expo would use it in some way, but I don't. I mean, there was never really any work done on it, and the buildings aren't in the best shape.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, by all appearances, nothing has happened there. So
yeah. So
I don't know.
That end of the boardwalk has some problems with date setting.
Right. So what do you think? Do you think these first two stories that we had today, does it kind of reinforce your view or kind of the podcast view of Bart Blatstein?
Yeah, how can they not? I mean, I just don't see how he has any real long-term vision for his properties other than waiting for Hard Rock to open and hoping that 10 opens and then he can sell. Unless he's just saying, I'm going to wait and see, and then once those things start making money, then I'll put my money in. But that just seems like such a weird way to go about it. Like, why even open at all at that point? I don't know.
So I think what obviously needs to happen, Craig, especially if we go in the winter or something, which, as I mentioned last episode, may or may not happen for me, one of us really needs to stay in the showboat and just do like a full review of like how awful and depressing it is.
Especially in the winter? That sounds...
Yeah, especially in the winter. At least in the summer, I'm sure they have like pretty decent like room occupancy. But, in the winter, it's going to be so dead.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. Like, that sounds like the setting for some post-apocalyptic video game or something. Like, it just sounds really bad. I really just have no interest unless, especially without Hard Rock open or anything up there. Like, it's sandwiched between closed Taj and closed Revel. Like, ugh, it's no good.
Resorts, man. Resorts.
Resorts is further down, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's marginally further down. It's pretty close.
Yeah. I still don't want to stay there right now.
Resorts is far closer to the Showboat than it is to, say, Caesars, which is the next casino south of it. Or Bally's. Sorry. Bally's.
Yes, that's definitely true. But I definitely would not want to stay there.
It's what the people want, Craig.
Is it?
They want you to stay there, not me. You.
Oh, okay. Just like blow by blow, detailed, like every step.
You need to give it the Chuck Monster treatment and let us know what it's like.
The rooms have to look exactly the same, right? Like same beds even and everything, I would assume. Yeah.
Probably the same sheets from the Showboat. They have not been changed since the Showboat shut down.
Well, the rooms probably haven't been used, so. What must their occupancy rates be like?
Good. Awful.
I can't imagine.
It's gotta be, right? Like, how many floors do you think are open?
Oh, that's a good question. I never really thought about that. Probably not many.
If you or someone you know works at the Showboat, write us and let us know how many floors are open in the Showboat.
Yeah, that'd be great to know.
In the summer.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... We haven't achieved peak season yet, but...
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty close. It's the end of June.
Yeah, I mean...
And it's been quite hot on the East Coast, which I think probably helps Atlantic City. People want to go to the beach.
That you may have sort of struck a potential cause of the demise of AC Fan Expo, which is that maybe they had something where they were supposed to sell X number of rooms and just weren't selling any rooms. Like maybe everybody was just going for the day and not staying there, which seems entirely likely. I don't know. Hopefully we find out more. I have a feeling that we're never going to hear the specifics because why would they tell us? They have no reason to tell us.
Truth.
Move on to
we should move on to
the other stalled property there up at that end of the boardwalk.
So
fun start to the episode, by the way.
Yeah,
upbeat.
So the CRDA has put a lien on the Revel 10 property for not paying their 2015 special improvement fees, which, as I understand it, are fees that every property in this commercial district or special tourism district or whatever the area around the boardwalk is called has to pay. So because Revel hasn't paid their $62,000, there's basically a lien on the property now. So what do you think, Craig?
So the interesting thing about this is it was closed, obviously, during 2015 for the entirety of 2015, and they still have to pay these special improvement fees. My understanding is that it's because you have to pay them unless you have a deed restriction on the property. Is that right, or is that pilot? Or am I asking the wrong person?
No, I think so I don't know if you heard it, but the entirety of the last AC Story podcast was about Glenn Straub and the Revel.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they said that every property, like whether it's the Revel or whether it's, whatever, a head shop on the boardwalk, has to pay this fee. And I think it's just based on the zone it's in. If it's in the special tourism zone, they have to pay it, I believe.
Okay, so it's pilot that you can get out of if you have a deed restriction, which makes a lot of sense as to why.
Because it's a gaming. Yeah. Right.
So that's why Carl Icahn was very quick to slap a deed restriction on the Taj. But, I don't know. So ignore that section of it. So it's just fees, I guess, he has to pay. I don't really think he's going to pay it. I think he's going to fight tooth and nail over it. And if he doesn't have any plans to open imminently, I could see this just being another thing that drags out forever, because he's dragged the application for the casino license out forever. He's fought with CRDA about other stuff. Meanwhile, Hard Rock seems to be very eager to work with the CRDA, and the CRDA, I think it was today during their meeting, even said something about like, oh, well, we're not going to do anything that's going to hurt development in Atlantic City, almost as like a slap in the face to Glenn Straub. Nicholas Hubo was live tweeting that. I think that was actually Amy S. Rosenberg who tweeted that little nugget of information. It definitely was Amy S. Rosenberg from the CRDA meeting, saying it almost seemed like they were getting their jabs in on Straub, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's another thing for him to fight over. Clearly, he's not someone who's eager to give up fee money, but it does seem like a small amount, right? Like, this doesn't seem all that meaningful to the CRDA, and I'm assuming they're feeling like they're not too eager to bend over backwards for Straub, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's basically it. I mean, is this a huge amount of money for them? Like, no, of course not, especially when we get to what other properties are asking the CRDA for money for, which is going to be way more than the $62,000. But I think what it comes down to is that, Glenn Straub is obviously antagonizing them, so they're going to antagonize him back.
Yeah, that seems to be the gist of it. But another wrinkle in the saga. It seems like it's a minor wrinkle. Like, if he wanted to open, he could probably just be like, "Here's your check," and that's that.
Well, and he needs to get his gaming license, and he needs to.
Well,
it's not quite that easy.
Well, I'm saying, like, if he got all those other things in order, which are the real hurdles, like this doesn't.
And
seem
gave
like
them the $62,000 check, which is a drop in the pan.
Yeah,
compared to everything else.
This seems very minor compared to everything else that he has to get done. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't pay it and took it to court, just because he's Glenn Straub and doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, he's got his lawyer at the ready. That's clear.
Yeah, I mean, he's already paying him, so he may as well do something.
May as well argue with the CRDA about something else.
That's right. All right, I think, do you have anything else on this?
Nope.
I will, I'll let you handle the new gambling machines in the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, Wild Wild West, in the Bally's property that we've talked so much about, how they have not been doing great, at least in year over year, seeing declines in their gambling revenue. They have added some skill-based slots, which is funny because I think it was just last episode that we said they were getting rid of skill-based slots, or they have gotten rid of all their skill-based slots from GameCo. They have now added Space Invaders at the Wild Wild West, which is not GameCo, it is Scientific Games. The article that I'll link to in the Las Vegas Review-Journal says that it's also at Harrah's, although we were obviously just at Harrah's and didn't see it. So I don't know if it's at Harrah's yet. It definitely seems like it's already at Wild Wild West. It is basically, my understanding is it's a standard slot machine, but the bonus game is skill-based, probably a game of Space Invaders. It's not too big a leap to assume that. And you have the option to either play the bonus as skill-based or to just take your payout so that it's not skill-based to get the standard slot machine bonus. This is a formula that was talked about when skill-based games originally mentioned. Skee-Ball, obviously, I loved the Skee-Ball slot machine. It was very short-lived in Atlantic City casinos, at least. And I think that was a game where the bonus, you played Skee-Ball, but it was meaningless. Like, what you got in Skee-Ball didn't actually decide what kind of prize you got in the bonus. And I think that was probably frustrating for people. But even though it said in big letters on the screen that your score doesn't affect the bonus payout, but this will be actually affecting your payout. I'd be interested to see how wide it ranges. I'm guessing it's similar to the GameCo machines where you sort of start, like when you start the game, it's hit the button and figured out what your max is, and then your ability to play skill games toward it is going to affect how much of that bonus you get, and most players are probably going to get a healthy percentage, but not all. That's my guess anyway. So I don't know. Do you have any interest in Space Invaders? I feel like that's some old school shit if you're talking video games.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, the problem with this compared to the other kind of GameCo skill-based games are that, you know, if I put my $10 in this and say I'm going to play it twice like I have with all of the other GameCo games, there's certainly no guarantee that I'm going to get the special game.
Yeah, I wonder how
that's
often
a problem,
it pops up.
but
We would need to play to find out.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those games where, like, you're only playing for the bonus. I guess it's possible the other slot stuff is cool, but what are the odds?
Isn't that all slot machines, Craig? All new ones anyway? You're only playing for the bonus?
Well, there was a while where it seemed like the bonus games were going away and it was all about free spins. Although now it seems like it's going back to more interesting bonuses with, like, Wonka machines and Simpsons and all that stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I'm interested in playing it, but, like, are the millennials really going to get jazzed up about some Space Invaders? Like, was Pong not available? I don't understand. Centipede?
Guess not. So the real question is, do you want them to bring Skee-Ball back and make it skill-based?
Oh my goodness, I would play that
every
day.
Even though those touchscreens were the worst, and it would be the most enraging thing to actually play that as a skill-based game.
Yeah, so my guess is that was what got those machines out of the casino, because they just could not hold up to the giant touchscreen swiping that you had to do. Hopefully Space Invaders holds up better than that. But yeah, I mean, I would love them to sort of rethink Skee-Ball and do it and bring it back. Maybe not even a touchscreen, but like a roller ball or something like that. Whatever it is, Golden Tee style. Because I mean, that was a cool game, and it's, you know, very Jersey, right? Skee-Ball is a Jersey thing, so that'd be cool. That's what they should do. Who do we send a letter to make that happen?
Bally's or whoever made the Skee-Ball game.
Yeah.
Was it Bally's? Do you know?
I have no idea. Yeah. I mean, there are only a few companies, right?
Right.
Bally's, IGT, or whatever it is. Scientific Games. These are probably all owned by the same people, and there's only like one company, but I don't know the inner whatever corporate structure of slot machine companies. So the other machine that is new is not a skill-based machine at Wild Wild West and at Bally's. Thank you to Bob I in the Facebook group for posting the picture of this. Is the automated Big Six Wheel, which is an Interblock machine. Interblock also makes the Pop-O-Matic craps machines that are at Wild Wild West right now. So I must probably also make the roulette machine, although I'm not 100% sure about that. And Big Six Wheel, I've never actually played the Big Six Wheel. Have you? The money wheel, as it is also known.
Yeah, of course. Dude, how have you not ever just walked up with a couple bucks and put it down on 10-1 or something?
It's possible that I had like $1 and walked into the casino. I know that the first time we ever went to Vegas, I think it was like the first thing that our friend Craig did, and maybe others, was just walk up and it was like money wheel, because it's right at the front of the casino, right? And you walk in and it's like bam. And even at Horseshoe in Baltimore, first thing you see when you go in the casino, that's definitely the angle they're going for. You walk in, you see it, and it's like, this is some quick gambling, and it's just terrible odds. Some of the worst house edge in the house, in the casino. Sean H. in the Facebook group mentioned that the house edge is actually significantly lower than in the live version. I couldn't find any pay tables or whatever odds for the actual machines that are at Bally's and Wild Wild West, but Interblock's site says that the hold percentage can be anywhere from 5 to 24%, depending on the configuration. So that's an enormous range. I mean, so obviously there's probably settings where you can say what the payouts are depending on what hits on the wheel. 24%. I mean, then you're getting into Keno territory. So it's terrifying. But JS in the Facebook group said that the wheels at both Wild Wild West and Bally's were completely backed last weekend. So people like these things. It's a big wheel in the middle of a bunch of electronic terminals. You go in, you place your bet, and it spins the wheel. And I guess people like that more than dealing with a live dealer. I don't know. Maybe it moves faster. Maybe the odds are slightly better, as Sean said. I can't say I have any interest in trying it. Like the Big Six wheel never really looked like anything that was exciting to me. Like it's just a big wheel that spins. Like this is like something that happened that you see at an elementary school carnival, and you spin it, and it's like you won a fake plastic baseball helmet, except with money.
Yeah. I mean, I still can't believe that you have never played the Big Six wheel.
I might have put $1 on one once when drunk.
One of my first times to the casino, I think that a bunch of us went up to Turning Stone, and this was just to go to Turning Stone because we were 18 or 19, so we couldn't go to non-Indian casinos then. And I had lost all of the money I brought, and the guy who drove us in his van is like, yo, I need gas money from everyone. And I had like $5 left. So I put it on triple lemon on the money wheel, and triple lemon hit. And then I got my gas money and got a ride back home.
What would have happened if you had lost that $5?
I would have owed him money, I'm sure.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like that bad of a fate. It's not like, it's a better story if you were like stranded in wherever, New York up north of the city, but 300 miles from home. But
triple lemon is classic.
So like the wheels that I'm used to have dollar bills of different denominations on them.
It's the same thing.
What is triple lemon?
So it's basically the exact same thing. It's just instead of it just saying 5 to 1, 10 to 1, 20 to 1, like some do, they have fruit instead, and then each fruit has the payout. I think triple lemon was 3 to 1. So
nice. So you had $15.
So I had $5, and then I had $20.
That's awesome. It's a great story. Probably your biggest gambling win that you've ever had.
It got me a ride home, man. I didn't want to stay in Turning Stone, New York.
Yeah. Where is Turning Stone anyway?
It's like a half hour east of Syracuse, I think.
Oh boy, that's way the hell away from where you live.
I mean, from northern Baltimore County, it's much closer than where you grew up. But yeah, it's pretty far. It's like 4 hours, I think.
Oof. Yeah, that's actually less than I would have thought, but still far. Farther than I would have gone at 18 to go to a casino, in that I never went to a casino when I was 18
Until you were like 27?
Yeah, I think I was 26 by the time I went.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. 2010. January 2010. February, maybe. First trip to Atlantic City. Forever. A date that should forever live in infamy.
And look where you are now.
I know. Doing a podcast.
So, yeah, when I was in Bally's on Monday, I saw them setting it up, but it was not up and running yet. So,
yes, that is actually the picture in our Facebook group is the one in Wild Wild West, basically ready to go, but with a rope around it, like whatever those things are called, tension, whatever.
Rope is fine.
Yeah,
people know what you're talking about. Anyway.
Not a little rope, not a literal rope.
Yeah,
it is the Wild Wild West. People might assume.
Let's move on to M Life.
Yes, we will never have an episode where we don't talk about M Life, I think, from now until the end of time.
Yes.
Do you?
So I can talk about the first point here because I lived it in person. So yeah, Borgata just came out a couple weeks ago and said that even though they've switched to M Life, they're still going to continue status matching, but only for Caesars and Trop. I think it may have been a couple more casinos when it was still the Borgata running it, but I'm not 100% on that. Do you know, Craig?
I seem to remember it including...
I think it included...
resorts, but maybe not.
Yeah. Maybe not resorts, but I think it included Golden Nugget. And it definitely included Trump when it was...
Oh, yeah. Yes.
It absolutely included chairman at Trump, I think.
Oh, yeah, maybe it was just those three. Somebody will know. Somebody who is a Borg player will definitely know. But
so anyway, they said they're going to status match Caesars and Trop, and as listeners to the podcast know, I have a gold card at Trop. So I sauntered in there on the Sunday that I got to Atlantic City last weekend and tried to trade my gold card up to an MGM gold card, assuming that it's the third level at one, so it will be the third level at the other. And I was told that they were only interested in platinum cards, so I got nothing.
Which is crazy, right? Because the perks at Trop for gold.
It's exactly the same as Caesars. It's only platinum card at Trop, and it's a big difference between getting gold and getting platinum at Tropicana. So
it'd be interesting to compare the coin in for platinum at Trop versus gold in M Life or diamond at Caesars. It's got to be way higher for platinum at Trop.
So the next part of this story is that Coach Kitty from Travels Arc updated all the info on the coin in necessary to get to the gold card and determined it is exactly the same as it was to get to Black Label at Borgata. It's $500,000 in coin in on video poker to get it, which is astounding to me, frankly.
That it's the same?
That it's that high.
Oh, well, video poker, though.
I got diamond from $50,000 of coin in.
But in a day, though, with a huge bonus.
So it would have been $150,000 if I didn't do that, which is still way, way, way less.
Yeah. I don't know. So assuming that they're on the double coin in thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
For video poker, that's like $300,000 now, which is still way less than $500,000.
Sure, yeah, okay. If you do a 20-to-1 machine, which is what it is basically now, yeah, it would be $100,000 in a day or $300,000 total. But that's still 60% of what's needed at Borgata.
Yeah. So we wonder,
and you can do it in 100,000 if you do it in a day. Which, if your goal is to get diamond and you didn't want to get Founder's Card, you should do it in a day.
Right, and if you're looking for why there are so many diamond players in Atlantic City, there's your answer. Right? Like
Founder's Card? Or
no.
That is so much easier to get.
That if you go every couple of weeks, you're probably going to hit that threshold of coin in. Especially if you're a video poker player or a slot player and you go and you're just going to sit at a slot machine for a few hours every couple of weeks, you are going to get diamond. Like, it's just going to happen. So, and I think there are a ton of people that do that in Atlantic City because they're commuting distance away, so it's easy for them. But that's not really what we're here to discuss. So $500,000 at Borgata got you 1,000 comp dollars. I have no idea how many comp dollars it gets you in M Life, but you needed 1,000 comp dollars to get my Borgata Black Label. You need 75,000 M Life tier credits to get gold, and that is the same amount of coin in at video poker.
Let me tell you, my diamond in a day got me far, far, far less than $1,000 in reward credits at Total Rewards.
That's not surprising.
It got me like $50 in reward credits or something.
So here's a question that someone who's listening to this will definitely know, but we can still talk about like we know anything. Do you think, and I've wondered this for a long time, do you think Caesars is more generous with tier points and tier status than other properties, but less generous with comps and free play? Like, not room comps, but less generous with comp dollars and free play.
That's the impression. Well, so my mailers are way better at Caesars than anywhere else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I get tons of free play at Caesars.
Oh, all my free play at Caesars like $5.
Oh, no, I get like $50 usually at Bally's and, well, like 15 or 20 at Caesars or Harrah's. But
yeah, I get more at resorts and Borg than I get at Caesars properties.
No,
and I play way more.
Caesars definitely takes care of me in terms of my mailers, but yes, in terms of just reward credits, I do think they're a bit worse than most other places, especially Borgata, which I actually felt that they were pretty generous with reward credits or comp dollars there.
Yeah, I would always be surprised when I would get home and I had X number of comp dollars. You know, for me, it would usually be like $8, but I would be like, oh, $8. Like when I go, I'll go stay for 2 nights at Caesars and end up with like $450 or something, even though I gamble way more.
Yeah, you don't get anywhere close to 800 reward credits at Caesars, right, on a trip?
Oh, no. I think I've hit 500 once on it in a day once.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got the bonus?
Yeah, I've definitely gotten the bonus once ever.
Nice.
But a typical day for me at a Total Rewards property is like 150 tier credits. So basically, high roller. Yeah. That's what you can expect from me.
That's pretty pitiful.
Yeah, no. That's why I shouldn't complain about my comps ever at Caesars. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And that's why you get That's why I get $5 free play and stuff like that. That's the value that I have to a Caesars property.
Yeah, I get like 10 at the Horseshoe locally, so it's not like they're really lighting it up.
I haven't gotten much from Horseshoe.
I actually get the same at. Well, have you ever? I guess you did go to the Horseshoe once. But yeah, I think I usually get 10 at Horseshoe, and I get normally 10 at the National Harbor as well.
So interesting point. I feel like I say interesting a lot on this show, but interesting point about the rewards credits, or talking about how I don't get any tier credits. I've gotten the bonus once ever, and that was years ago, like around when we first started going. And it's probably a day trip, because if we did a day trip, we probably just gambled.
So what do you think happened? Did you just like have a good round on a slot machine?
No. So we talked last episode, I mostly play video poker, and I mostly play full pay video poker at Caesars and Harrah's, and so that is $50 a tier credit. Yep. So I probably am just not getting many tier credits at all, and same thing. This last trip didn't get that many tier credits because I was mostly playing full pay video poker. So, if it used to be 10 and now it's 50, I'm going to get a fifth of as many points. So if I get 100 points in a day now, that would have been 500 then. I'm almost certainly gambling more now than I was then. It's just that I'm playing a game that they have nerfed or whatever. I don't think you can really use nerfed in this context, but I'm gonna. Certainly for comps, like you can't. Well, exactly what you said last episode. It used to be that video poker was a game that you could sit at and play for a couple hours and rack up some tier credits and rewards credits, and now it has no value for that really anymore.
Nope.
Should we talk about Hard Rock? More exciting, good news.
Yeah, just all this stuff just came out today, right?
Well, the AP article from Wayne Perry is a little older than that.
Mm-hmm.
June 9th, which I guess now is more than a week ago, almost 2 weeks ago. Hard Rock submitted a list of things that they would like to be allowed to do. So I guess this was submitted to the states. And it was billed in the AP headline as like a sneak peek at the plans for Hard Rock. Reading the article, it seems to me more like it's more of a wish list, like things that they want to be allowed to do, not necessarily things that they are going to do. And that included poolside gambling in restaurants, which I guess is probably more general than that. Like it's probably more like gambling in restaurant space, like space that's designated for a restaurant. And Wayne Perry in the article that I linked to even mentioned like the quarter in Tropicana is basically restaurant and shopping space, but they do have a slot area there. Skill-based slots, obviously nothing new. Fantasy sports betting, which apparently Resorts is planning to start very soon. Hidden VIP gambling rooms, which I don't know if that's really that big a thing in AC as someone who is not a VIP.
In Vegas, it's definitely tons of properties have like top floor gambling rooms and stuff like that. I don't know if they have it in AC at all. I haven't heard of it anyway. But
yeah, I mean we know they're high limit rooms, but you can see them from everywhere.
Right.
Eric would probably know. Michael would know. Michael from Travelzork would know.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any in AC, but I know it is quite common in Vegas.
So it's interesting to sort of see this stuff starting to come out in public record, where they're having to start to submit plans, and all this stuff has to go through a billion boards between Division of Gaming Enforcement through CRDA and all this other stuff. So I think we're going to start to see a lot of stuff come out. I don't know. Do you have anything else to add about what was in this article? I don't think there was a ton of like really juicy stuff in there.
No.
So the other thing is that just today, the CRDA meeting, Hard Rock mentioned that they are shooting for a Memorial Day 2018 opening. Nicholas Huba and Amy S. Rosenberg were live tweeting this whole thing. They also said that they're going to start with demolition on some of the portions of the Taj next month, so July, presumably, and that new construction will start in August, so all the renovation stuff. There's an article that I'll link to that talks a little bit about that, but one of the things that will be really interesting to see, and I hope that I get there at some point to see it, is the dismantling of this, iconic Taj exterior, whether you think that it was, an eyesore, or whether you think that it was really an interesting part of the aesthetic of the city. To see that coming down, I think, is really going to be something else. And I'm actually even more interested in that than in just a full-scale implosion, which we've seen obviously in Vegas a bunch of times, and the Sands being the recent big one. Recent, I say in quotes, but
recent.
The most
far before
recent.
You ever went there.
Oh yeah, only a couple of years, I think. But the most recent big one in Atlantic City, and that was always sort of the spectacle, right? But I think there's something weird about, there's probably going to be a bunch of scaffolding around all those domes and minarets at the Taj, and it's going to be really interesting and kind of creepy to look at that thing with all that there. You live down around DC, and for a long time there was scaffolding all around the
Capitol,
both the Capitol and the Washington Monument, and I mean, those buildings are really old, so I think it's a little less weird. But for this building that's kind of been this big iconic thing in AC, which
one was built in 1989, and others were built in 17 whatever.
Right. So, but you expect those things to have repairs and get scaffolding, and those things were getting repaired. This thing is getting dismantled, and so there's sort of there's more of a sadness around it, right? Like dismantling. Assuming you liked the Taj.
I mean, I think it's endearing that you think so, or feel so strongly about how strange it's going to be to see all the scaffolding around the Taj. I
think it's strange to go...
I don't have the strong feelings that you apparently have about it.
I don't have strong feelings about it, but I think it's going to be sad to look up at that end of the boardwalk and see, dark Revel. I guess Showboat's not technically dark. But it definitely...
We won't know until you stay there.
That's a good point. Maybe they just leave all the lights out and they give you a flashlight to go to your room. That's why they closed the Fan Expo. They're like, you guys are using too much electricity at night.
Yeah. They're like, whoa, our electricity bill went way up last month.
We didn't realize we were
out of here.
Yeah, we didn't realize we were gonna have to turn the lights on. I'm sure their electricity bill did go way up.
Hold on. Guys, can you unplug those computers, please?
Can you move all this to the first floor and only have 6 computers, because the 30 that you had before is just killing us. Yeah. It's killing the bottom line. I don't know. It was very, very creepy when I took the bus after the Showboat closed and it went around to Resorts, I think. Or no, it was the Taj, when the Taj was still open. And pulled right up alongside the closed Showboat at 11 at night. And this giant, husk of the Showboat is just sitting there completely dark. But I think a big reason for that is that, we spent a lot of time at Showboat before it closed. And it just was like, man, we love this thing and it's gone. Obviously, we don't have that with Taj, but we did see the exterior all the time. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll see it and just be like, whatever. When does the big guitar go up? I'm excited for Giant Guitar. I want the guitar to be a spectacle. I want it to be 300 feet tall and dwarf whatever the wheel is that they're building on Steel Pier.
Uh-huh.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Should we move on to Harris?
Yeah, I think it's time to move on.
The other CRDA thing?
Yeah, so apparently Harris is asking to move some of their CRDA money into the development of a new celebrity chef restaurant. But they haven't said exactly who that celebrity chef would be. So what do you have to say about this?
Again, this is Nicholas Huba live tweeting from the CRDA meeting. They said it will be a chef from within the Caesars brand. So a new restaurant, not a new celebrity chef. Off the top of my head, that's got to either be Guy Fieri or Gordon Ramsay, right? Those are the two celebrity chef joints in AC.
Do we need more Guy Fieri restaurants?
No. It's definitely going to be Guy's Burger Joint replacing AC Burger Co. or whatever, which replaced Bill's Burger Bar. That's my assumption. Until I hear otherwise, I'm going on that. That's based on no information other than what we have here, which is a new celebrity chef restaurant from someone in Caesar's celebrity chef stable, if you will. The chefs would probably not like to be told that they're in a stable, but I don't know. I mean, I guess there could be a Gordon Ramsay thing at Harrah's, maybe in like the Veracruz space or the Coastal Craft space, but maybe I'm missing somebody who's a celebrity chef at Caesar's. Nobu. It's going to be Nobu probably at
at Harrah's.
That sounds like a match.
That sounds like a great branding idea for Nobu.
Yeah. Like right across from the pool, just put a big Nobu. Like, do you want a $200 sushi dinner?
With some moons in the background?
Yeah, with some moons in the background. That sounds great. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll find out what Guy restaurant it is when they announce it.
I know. It probably will be a Guy restaurant.
Yeah. I mean, the only Guy thing at Harrah's right now is Guy's Sandwich Joint.
Yeah, there's only one Guy thing there, and that is not enough.
Right.
As we've talked about in the past, Caesar's likes having at least 2 Guy restaurants at every Caesar's property.
Yeah, so Bally's has barbecue joint and
Bally's has 2. House. The Horseshoe has 2.
Yeah, Caesar's has none.
Caesar's has 0. Yeah, wow, they got to get on that.
I know. Maybe they can finally replace Cafe Roma or whatever it is, which sucks.
Think about how much of a disaster it's going to be when they close down Bally's. They need to preempt it by.
Won't someone think of Guy? Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess one is in the Wild Wild West, so that'll presumably stay open.
Right. Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I think if Bally's ever does close, which is all pure speculation on our point.
Oh, so this isn't on the agenda, but the May casino results from Atlantic City came out, and as I asked you on GChat, I said you will never guess which was the only casino to lose money year over year in May. But you did guess. Somehow.
Shockingly, I guessed Bally's.
It was Bally's. So,
I mean, do you think all that money is just going to Trop?
All the Bally's money?
I mean, to me, when I go into Bally's, the actual Bally's side of Bally's is a bunch of old people. And then you've got this weird dichotomy where the Wild Wild West side is like really trying to cater to young people. Mm-hmm. But like those people don't really gamble, and if they did walk into the Bally's side to play some slots, they would be like, "Whoa, I need to scurry back to Caesars or something." Whereas like Trop clearly has better nightlife than Bally's, in that Bally's
it has nightlife
is free concerts at
the Wild Wild West.
At the Wild Wild West, which isn't making them any money except for beer.
Buca de Beppo.
Right.
That's the nightlife.
Yeah, that's the nightlife. There it is.
Dunkin' Donuts.
But then also has a bunch of slots for the old people. And then bridges the gap with stuff to attract people in between. Like, it just seems like if I was 23 and I could choose between hanging out at the Wild Wild West and then going and playing at Bally's, or maybe going and checking out the free concert at the Wild Wild West and then actually doing my clubbing and gambling at the Trop, or really anywhere else, Borgata, Golden Nugget.
Dusk?
I feel like Dusk, I never hear anything about.
Yeah, I don't hear much about it either. I hear much more about Trop and Borg and Haven at Golden Nugget.
Yeah. If you're a Dusk fan...
Or even the Pool After Dark.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Oh, yes, that's it. The Pool After Dark's the big one. It's the most profitable club in Atlantic City, I think. If you're a Dusk fan, let us know, because I've never heard anyone be like, "Oh, yeah, I love Dusk."
Yeah, Dusk, that's my favorite nightclub in AC.
It's the least talked about nightclub in AC, I think.
I mean, believe me, I've been at Caesars many times at night, and it has a line, so...
Yeah, but not a big one, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what a normal nightclub line is, having never been a man to have experienced that.
Yeah, having never stood in line for a nightclub.
All right. We did go to Boogie Nights at one time.
We did.
But there was no line.
There was no line.
It was really busy on the inside, though. Quite crowded.
Also, one of the most fun places in the world, Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
It's about my speed in that we were
It's as far as nightclubs go, it's pretty good.
we were in the youngest, like maybe 30% of people there, which was great.
Yeah, I'd say we were in the youngest 10% of people there.
You think?
Yeah, 15 at least.
That's even better. That's awesome. That's what I like out of a club. So any other interesting stuff from the data?
So to answer your question, if all the gambling money is going from Bally's to Trop, I would say no. Caesars is also just slain compared to last year. So
really?
I think it's more likely that all the gambling money is going from Bally's to Caesars.
That makes sense. It does seem like
those are definitely the two huge winners from last year to this year.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like if you're a Bally's player and you're like,
wait, Bally's Park Place sucks. I'm going to go play in Caesars, which is basically what I've done.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I play far more at Caesars compared to what I used to, and far less at Park Place compared to what I used to.
Yeah, and the Caesars pit is nicer. Like the Caesars casino is nicer in general.
Way nicer. Yeah. I mean, Park Place is just a dump, right?
Yeah, and really, I mean, even I don't think it's not like the limits are exorbitant. Like I remember when we first started going, we would mostly hang out in Caesars, Wild West, Bally's. Mm-hmm. And we would go walk through Caesars, and we would be like, no, we need to go to Bally's to see if there are lower limits. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Like, if you want $15 blackjack, it's probably $15 blackjack.
Yeah, but there's probably 10 at Park Place. And 5
at Wild West.
6 to 5 at Wild West.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
No, it's definitely cheaper at Bally's, but it's just not nice.
Yeah, it's not inviting. It doesn't make me want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
They renovated the casino floor, and it feels and looks exactly the same to me.
Mm.
I mean, maybe there's some newer slot machines, and the slot machines are organized in a different way, but I don't know. Bally's, like, I end up in Bally's, and I'm just like, this is not where I want to gamble. It's probably, out of all the casinos in AC, it's probably the place that I would least like to gamble right now. Out of 7? What do you think? Gold Nugget? You don't like Trop, so...
No, we'll have to talk about that next episode a bit more. But,
since you stayed at Trop.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Should we end on a cliffhanger? And get the people to come back next week?
Give them a week-long cliffhanger? I don't think we've ever done that.
So anyway, I do have one more thing to say about the financials, which is... do you believe that year over year, Bally's is not doing the worst out of Atlantic City casinos?
No.
Any guesses to who is doing actually the worst year over year?
As far as declining revenue?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a trick question and it's the Taj?
Well, no, but I guess that is technically true.
Golden Nugget?
It is Harrah's is doing worse year over year.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting because Harrah's used to rake, right? Like they were doing really well, and they would frequently be second behind Borg.
But neither are doing particularly great. I mean, Harrah's is still doing fine in like kind of overall numbers, but well, the thing with Harrah's is they had like a truly just horrendous April, which I mean, I haven't gone back and looked. I suspect it was just a variance thing, but because all their other months have been like, I mean, let's be honest, they've been bad. They've been the second worst casino, like basically all the other months compared to Bally's. But in April, that was like a total disaster for them. They were down like 8% basically from the year before.
Second worst in comparison terms, not in terms of actual dollars of revenue. Yeah.
Correct. Second worst in terms of their percentage difference, their delta compared to 2016. But yeah, I don't know. It's not a great look for them, considering that they just plowed a whole bunch of money into renovations at the Bayview Tower and this new conference center, and it seems like it's not really working out for them so far.
Yeah, although the pool after dark was closed for renovations for a couple months, maybe that drives revenue. Although it was totally open in May, so.
I mean, their first 3 months weren't great either, so it is certainly possible that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, like a whole bunch of restaurants were closed and stuff earlier in the year too. So
that's true. Yeah, I mean, the whole package to me seems to have gotten a little worse. I have lots of hot takes about Harrah's for next episode though.
Indeed. um,
I need to
yeah.
dial up my outrage.
Yes, get it ready now.
Yeah.
All
Wrap
right.
this thing up.
So, do you have anything else to talk about before we wrap up?
Nope.
So, first, I want to just thank you guys very much for listening. If you have any questions for us, you can always shoot us an email or reach out to us at Twitter. Our email is doforawin@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @doforawin. Or you can reach out to us and all of our other listeners on our Facebook group at facebook.com/group/doforawin. You can find all of our content at doforawin.com. And if you enjoy the podcast, you can subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, and or YouTube still.
Yes, yeah, I put up the last 2 episodes on YouTube. If you were waiting for episode 46, you waited a long time because it went up the same day as episode 47.
Well,
but it's up.
Nice. Cool. So thank you guys very much for listening. And like we said, we'll try to get the Trip Report episode out pretty quick, probably early next week. So we look forward to talking to you then, and have a good one. I might go get a beer and do this.
Yeah, let me put on the AC for a few minutes.
Okay.